it's Adam, Jack, and Ross from Cultaholic.com, and Hell in a Cell is almost upon us, and there are 3 matches announced so far. We're recording this on Friday evening, before SmackDown, of course, and there are, as I say, 3 matches announced. We've got Roman and Daniel Bryan taking on Bludgeon Brothers 2.0. We've got Sasha versus Becky in Hell in a Cell, and we've got The Fiend versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell, and that's all we know so far. So some of these is going to be a bit sort of speculative.
Yeah. Let's just say we'll put our pictures against what they actually book. So is this going out live tomorrow, Saturday? Is West sat here?
Yes, it's Saturday morning.
So they'll know at home what's been booked.
Yeah.
And then we'll pitch things and then compare the 2 of them and
Ours
say
are
who's
always better.
We're fans.
We're
the fans. We know better.
But before we get going, remember, it's not what we think's going to happen.
It's what we want to happen.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Mario?
Hello, Adam.
All right, what's your first pitch?
My first one relates to the amount of matches that have been announced thus at the time of recording. Mm-hmm. I want a 5-match card like a NXT TakeOver. I would like... they've already kind of set a new precedent with this, the B shows, the pay-per-views. They've been a bit shorter more recently. The main card has been around about 3.5 hours, which isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things when, WrestleMania is now 9-10 hours. I don't know how long it is. Is that an exaggeration?
No,
I don't know.
Spot on. Including the pre-shows, it's got to be about 8, hasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
No, 7.
But yeah, I know last night's SmackDown was important. And I think hopefully, for our sakes, they're saving all of the match announcement for tonight, just so you can go, tonight's SmackDown is very important, please tune in. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that's a one-off just because it's the first SmackDown on Fox. But B-show pay-per-views, 5 matches, 5 big matches, 5 important matches. Give them time. I know it's sort of refreshing these days whereby you don't know when you're tuning into the kickoff show what you're actually going to get, because a lot of things change on the night these days, and I quite like that. But I also like takeovers. And I like 5 matches being 5 big important matches and them being given the right amount of time and things being done in a very proper and significant manner.
This is the thing. In the olden days when we were growing up, it always felt like getting on a pay-per-view card was an accomplishment in itself.
It was the culmination of a rivalry.
Yeah, and we no longer have that. Everybody gets a go. Everyone's shoehorned in, and partly that's because they've got such an unbelievably massive roster. It's something like, I think it was like 180 people across NXT and WWE. It's
7 million.
It's 7 million. It's a ludicrous amount of wrestlers. So I understand why they do it, but everything feels a little bit less special because of that. So I don't know if 5 is too few, but I'm being
I can stretch to 6 or 7.
That's what I was going to say.
I should mention as well, last year's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view had 8 matches, 1 pre-show match and 7 main card. So maybe we'll get something like we've had 3 announced so far. It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Another 6, can they? How many can they realistically announce?
Last night's SmackDown was really important.
It was very important. I really enjoyed the live stream. It sounded I can't believe he swore so often.
I reckon they'll announce about 3 or 4 on SmackDown, and then there'll be 1 or 2 added on the night as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. So you think we're still going to get 8 maybe?
Yeah.
8, maybe even 9. Sure, it's a yes from me, because just for the reason that I've already mentioned, I don't really have anything else to add to that. Pay-per-views don't feel special. They're too frequent anyway.
Yeah.
And when everything is thrown at them, it makes everything else feel less special.
For anyone who's just stumbled upon this video who doesn't know anything about wrestling, they're going to be so confused, like, why do wrestling fans not want to see more wrestling? Because we're just like, there's just too much.
How many hours a week of original programming do WWE put out now?
3 on a Monday.
Yeah.
2 on a Friday.
Yeah.
2 more on a Wednesday.
Yeah. 205 live now as
1
well.
hour, 1 hour on a Tuesday night. 1 hour on a Friday night. No, the backstage.
Oh, backstage. Yeah, sure.
205 live. That's 5. That's the 5th show.
There's lots of hours. Lots of hours is the point.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a tough one because, as I say, I do like the sort of chaotic nature of pay-per-view now. Like when you tune in, you don't know what's going to happen because things now happen on the pre-show that impact the main card, which I like. Mm-hmm. But also, 5 matches is a great amount and it makes it feel more special.
And you see with the crowd at NXT, they very rarely get burnt out. And sure, you get a sort of higher work rate down in NXT, which keeps things exciting. You're not going to get that from a Baron Corbin match.
That's unfair. He's been on fire for the past month.
He's brilliant. I'm not saying he's not great, but he's not like... I always said he's not NXT. He was in NXT. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And yeah, you saw it. Like WrestleMania is the perfect example here of people being so burned out by the end of the night that everything towards that end of the
This is going to sound weird,
suffered.
but I don't mind 9 hours or whatever it was, 7 hours is too long. But I don't,
5 including the pre-show.
I don't
Fine.
mind it, like the big 5, the supposed big 5. I don't mind those being as long as they possibly have to be. This year was taking the piss at WrestleMania. But, you know, if they're longer, I don't mind that because of the big 5, and they probably should be. But these Hell in a Cell, it's not a big card. Evidently by the fact we've had 3 matches booked as we're sat here on Friday evening. So, yeah, just make it shorter.
I agree. And then the big 4 or the big 5 feel more special as well because they're longer and they feel like big events. Yeah, it's a yes from me.
It's a yes from me too, but I will say that we wrestling fans are wimps, right? Because right? Because you know what?
Speak for yourself.
You know, have you heard of the speed running community? They play computer games as fast as they possibly can, try and break records and stuff. And I believe once or twice a year they have this massive convention. They book out like a hotel and stuff, and they have a week of 24-hour people playing games as fast as they can. People donating stuff.
Yeah, but people aren't staying up for nearly 150 hours. They're
Oh
going
no,
to
I think
bed.
people go to bed and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you'll get
and that's once a year as well. This is happening every 3 weeks
I've
at the
seen
moment.
a few clips of like some poor lad playing like Spyro as quick as he can. And there's like 2 people in the crowd because it's at 3 a.m. Everyone's gone to bed.
Yeah.
So I think people should do that. They should put WrestleMania on for a week, and people just pick and choose which matches they watch. Like a festival, you don't see every band you want to see at Leeds or Reading.
Yeah.
You just got to go look at the Clash Finder and be like, oh, well, we'll see Triple H versus whoever, but then we'll go and get some food. Miss out that match. That's rubbish. Just turn it into a big.
And then for the rest of the
Sorry, this
51
isn't one
year,
of
the
our-
51 weeks, you're just building to WrestleMania, which is this ludicrous thing that's happening all over the place. And then we'll get a bit of it in England, I guess. Like bloody Mojo Rawley and Lindsay Dorado will be over here.
Pick a day, Tuesday, whatever. That's just 24/7.
It's going to be like the
Division
European
day.
Championships
Yeah.
next summer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if people don't know, it's been hosted all over Europe
It
with
is.
the final in London.
Yes.
So now we have WrestleMania hosted all over the world with the final, the main event hosted in Connecticut.
Everything else is just a tournament to get to WrestleMania.
Why not?
The main event of WrestleMania.
We've gone
Yeah.
off the
Yeah.
topic here. It's a yes from
Yes,
me.
it is, yes,
It's
it's
a
a
yes,
great
it's Jack,
idea.
you're up.
Yeah. Mine concerns the Hell in a Cell match between The Fiend and Seth Rollins. Luckily, happily, it's one of the 3 matches we know about at the time of recording. And I think, now this is going to sound bad at first. This is going to sound weak sauce at first, right? I think that The Fiend should win, obviously. I think that I know there's a whole debate about whether or not his character would fit with the belt or whatever. I don't mind him having the belt. I think that's fine. But I think he's going to win because Rollins is really strong at the minute. He's beaten Lesnar twice, but The Fiend gets a little bit of help from Finn Balor, right? The demon Finn Balor, right? Don't panic, yeah. I know he's just showed up on NXT and he said he's NXT for good. Next week on NXT, Finn shows up again. People are like, what was that about at the pay-per-view, Finn? And he's like,
Who's asking that, by the way?
Regal. I don't know.
What was that about?
Shane Thorne. I don't know. And Balor's like, I don't know what you're talking about. For God's sake.
Some people say
They-
I look like me dad.
Yeah. Fight like him as well. And he goes like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's just in his nice leather jacket and stuff with his abs out. And everyone's like, you showed up and then just carries on like that. So he shows up on Raw as the Fiend's scary henchman. And then on NXT, he's just normal, happy, handsome Balor trying to get the NXT title back. And then it all leads to eventually a big bloody heel turn. He wins the NXT title, and I haven't thought beyond that point.
Is there a bit of a clash here in that Bray Wyatt already has the best sort of split personality gimmick?
It's not split
in
though, is it?
wrestling?
Because he knows. He always talks about the Fiend. Him.
Does
That's
it
the
not-
that's the one bit I'm not going to say I don't like about the Fiend. I wish it was like he didn't have a clue who the Fiend was. This Mr. Rogers.
He knows
guy.
it's him.
Yeah.
It's still a split personality.
But I'm going
though.
to throw
It
a
is.
bomb
He-
right
Oh,
here, right?
go on.
I hope you dodge it, right? If you do that, what you're pitching, how do you explain the past 5 years?
Oh,
Because Finn knew the demon was coming.
the demon. Well, he beat him so comprehensively that he's warped his mind. I don't know. Do you remember when he was wearing his lovely white trunks and he just battered him?
Yeah.
He broke his neck as a transitional move.
He
broke
snapped
his
his head off like a little
Yeah.
action man dog.
and then they did a lockup or something.
Yeah, that would be my one big question. Is like
Right.
the Fiend, the Demon and Finn Balor have been intertwined for the past 5 years in
Yeah.
WWE. How does that then get
Oh,
explained?
They've decided they're in love.
Fair enough.
That works for me.
He dodged the bomb.
It did, yeah.
I like
Thoughts?
it. I do like it because I think it puts more eyes on NXT, which with Finn's arrival feels like a proper third brand. It feels like a level brand, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a yes from me.
Now that I've said it, I'm getting less hot on it. I
Okay.
reckon that I've overcomplicated what should be a simple title change. But Ross,
I'm going to say no. First
Okay.
of all, because the question I just asked you before.
Yeah.
And second of all, I don't want the Fiend having help this early on.
that's a very good point.
That's a really
Yeah.
good
That's a
shout.
point.
Just have him snap Rollins' head. But then again, Rollins, you've put so much effort into this guy. Is it too soon to be having him lose conclusively to another?
don't think that's
He's
happening.
beat Brock twice this year. Is it too soon? I would probably say so as well. That would be a third reason.
Okay,
You're
fair enough.
both very lucky because I've got a remedy here.
Oh,
in
is this
my
your
first
pitch?
Yeah, this relates to the Fiend as well. By the way, I'm taking back my yes because of Ross's points.
You can't do
as
that.
well. It's not locked in. That's the way it works. Them's the rules, baby. The Fiend completely destroys Hell in a Cell. He just destroys
The
the
physical
structure.
structure.
The physical structure. Right. So
With a toolkit? Whaps
well,
out his
no,
toolbox?
the lights go out and they come back on, and the cell has collapsed on top of both men.
What?
Oh.
Right. There you go. There's your solution. The ref has to call for a no contest. It keeps the belt on Seth, but more importantly, it's destroyed the Hell in a Cell structure. So that doesn't have to happen every year.
They can't rebuild it,
because he's
ever.
properly knackered it. It is in pieces, right? It keeps the title off of Bray, which I don't have a big problem with either, but I don't think he needs
Wait,
it.
so Bray destroys the cell and puts it on top of himself?
The lights go out.
You said it was on top of both
Yeah,
men.
it's on top of both men, hence the no contest.
That would hurt Bray.
Something's gone wrong in the mystical land in which the Fiend lives, and it's just messed up a little
Bray
bit.
doesn't have to be under it for the match to be a no
I
contest.
think it's more effective if the lights go out, they come back on, the cell's down and Rollins is underneath it, and then Bray's just stood there going, hey, on top
Surely
of
you
it."
could just walk over and pin him then, and
No,
then
he's
he's just
under
the
all
champion.
this debris.
Yeah, but we've seen that before, haven't we?
Referee's under there as well. Therefore,
Yes.
the referee kind of...
Oh, God. I need
But
to
then they
think
would
about
send
these
it-
for 5 more minutes before stepping in the studio, don't I?
Yes, you do need to think about it for 6 minutes. That's right.
So, yeah, the idea was going to be that because it's been destroyed, the Hell in a Cell structure, that because after this weekend we will have had 42 of those matches, they don't feel special anymore. It's rebranded as, I don't know, maybe it's called, you know what, you can't do Firefly Funhouse forever. It's called the Fiend's Funhouse, and that's what the...
That's their
I
Halloween
thought-
outfit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't happen every year. Maybe that's only Unleashed.
I like the idea of Hell in a Cell becoming Bray Wyatt's thing.
Yeah. Because
Like it was
since
the-
Foley, it hasn't felt like someone's owned
It was unofficially the Undertaker's thing for a long old while.
Yeah, true. Yeah, okay.
I like it that sort of way.
Yeah.
Aye, I'm on board with that.
Thank you.
I would
So-
add my improvement. though, to
Yeah,
that,
I think it is an improvement as well.
Referee and Rollins underneath the structure, Bray on top of it celebrating. He's the one that brought it down. Goes away
He
for a
can be
while.
on top of it because it's gone. Maybe he's at the top of the ramp just cackling away, and then
Yeah.
that's your last shot.
They do need a way out of this, I think, because one of them cannot lose this weekend for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want to see Seth hold the title. I'm not a massive Seth fan or anything, but he provides brilliant wrestling matches, and I want to see those brilliant wrestling matches on Raw because Raw really needs them. I want those big main events involving Seth, which are always fantastic, because if The Fiend has it, I don't want to see him every week on
Rollins
TV.
will end up in a feud with Lashley. He'll be necking on with Becky Lynch left, right, and centre.
God forbid.
I know.
That
Oh,
was
but
that
yeah,
clip
okay,
that someone shared that clip on Reddit after Raw this week where Bobby's like, Dean, I know you're going, pal. I'll take care of Renee.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
He's the
He's
most
just making
consistent
his
character
way.
in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Leo Rush first, and then
What if
that.
it's all a shoot? That wasn't meant to happen. That's what I want. Is it a yes or is it a no?
Do you say yeah?
I'll say
Including,
yeah.
I'm going to include Ross's improvements here.
Yeah,
Oh, you're playing fast and loose with these rules.
I can see anger in your eye. This is sincere.
I'm going to say no, not because I'm angry.
Yeah.
It's just because... I need to think of a reason now. No, I just really do want to see The Fiend hold the title.
Okay.
I've mentioned it on various videos now, but I really like the idea of Raw slowly becoming more warped and dark at times because he's got the belt, so he's got power. And it doesn't have to be made explicitly clear that he's how he's making these things happen, but just more glitches in the stuff, more strange. I guess the set could become a bit warped, like what Lucha Underground did when Mil Muertes was the champion, but maybe not as dramatic.
Their
but-
brand new set, they're going to mess it up already.
Yeah, because it looks rubbish. So,
My issue with The Fiend having the belt is then how do you get it off him eventually?
at WrestleMania, Big Hero comes in.
You reckon?
That's too
Someone,
soon. Like,
Joseph Connors beats him for it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Connors is a legitimate threat.
Yeah, Connors. Yeah. So
It's all too soon for me, Seth losing the title after beating Brock twice.
it should have felt
At
a
Hell
bigger
in a
deal,
Cell
though,
as well.
shouldn't it? Even the
Yeah.
Brock win should have felt bigger than it did.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So that's a yes and a no. Ross, you are up.
Mine's related to the main event because I think they do need a way out of. I don't think Rollins or Bray can lose this weekend at a Hell in a Cell-esque pay-per-view. So I'm going to pitch an NXT Invasion.
Oh.
I know we're now building towards Crown Jewel 2, whatever it's going to be called. I'm not too sure. What is it?
What is it
Crown
called?
Jewel 2?
2019. I think it's just
Crown
Crown
Jewel.
Jewel again, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to sort of contradict myself because I say all the time I don't like when we're building to 2 pay-per-views at once. I'm linear, me. I like one thing happening.
Linear?
I'm linear.
Linear.
Yeah. One thing happening, then the next thing happening in a logical order because I can't compute many things going on at once. But I'm going to build to Survivor Series by having an NXT Invasion. That's your way out of the main event. They just come in, these soldiers, pick your top 5 guys. I don't know who they could be. They'll change.
Finn's surely got to be
Finn
the
leading
leader
it, I would
there.
say, yeah. Or maybe Gargano and Ciampa leading it with Finn.
Or
Who knows?
No Cole, because he's part of his own thing, right?
Yeah.
He's the Undisputed, yeah.
The only issue is,
Riddle.
I'm thinking about an issue
Dream.
here now, is you're just sort of disregarding what happened on Wednesday. Because you sort of set up 2 new rivalries potentially there with Ciampa and Finn maybe challenging Cole. Those 3 intertwined, you sort of disregarding that.
That's all right.
But
I
for the
think,
NXT cause, I don't
Yeah.
know if that works. But yeah, pick your top 5 guys. They come down. They do what the Nexus did, maybe. Link it to your idea, destroy the cell, rip it down. I don't know. But I would like to see an NXT Invasion. Because we've been gagging for it for so long. And now it's the official third brand. It's on TV every week. It's got to happen now for me.
Yeah.
It can't just be the one time of the year where Raw and SmackDown superstars compete head-to-head in competition.
Would this lead to Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT?
Yeah.
I was about to say this.
Yes.
A 15-man Survivor Series elimination match.
That would
Yes.
feel special.
I
like
love
a
that
lot.
visual. What's Survivor Series? It's one of
88 or
the
something.
80s, yeah. There was like 40 men around the
Yeah.
ring. Get one of them again.
Oh,
Why
all
not?
was it all the tag teams?
Yeah.
The Killer Bees and that.
Yeah. Who won that? Our Foundation.
Oh,
was it?
probably the heels or something. I don't know.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I assume so. It's a yes from Nick, from me. You've got to. This is.
You both said a yes from Nick.
It's a
Who's
yes
Nick?
from Nick, which is my alter ego. That's
Yeah.
my split personality. So Nick says yes. Adam says yes to this.
Nick Pack.
Nick Pack.
Nick Pack.
Be careful. Oh, but there's already one Nick Pack in the family.
You need to
so
be more
almost-
careful with
Yeah, no, you're
with
right.
Nigel Pack.
You're right. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. Everybody's talking about NXT, and now is the time to do it. Make them feel like it. Don't wait until next year because it'll already will have been on TV for a year. Do it now. I agree.
Have Adam Cole go to the Firefly Funhouse, easy for me to say, and do something.
Firefly Nick House, please.
I have these NXT renegades. I can't wait for Michael Cole to potentially say that 50 times a show. Go to all these weird places that main roster superstars haven't been booked to go for. Because I love the Cole stuff with Gargano, going to Gargano's dad's pizza shop and to Gargano's training school and all that malarkey. More of that stuff, please.
I'm all for it as well. It's a yes from me too.
That's nice.
Lovely
What
stuff.
a delightful conclusion.
Oh.
Jack, you're up.
My next pick, Nick and Ross, is it concerns a match that might not even be on the card, but I'm going to do a bit of hypotheticals, and this might not even be possible, depending on what happened on SmackDown last night at the time of this video's release. But I'm going to assume that there will be some sort of Kofi versus Brock match at Hell in a Cell, whether Brock's the champion because he beat Kofi on Friday, and then there's a rematch, or whether the match hasn't had a proper ending and Kofi's still the champion, but the match happens again on Sunday. Either way, regardless of who brings the belt into the contest, if that match happens, I think Lesnar will win after a valiant babyface effort from Kofi and all that. And then I think he'll be immediately challenged by a kind of a surprising person, I think.
Not Matt Riddle this time.
The pitch was just that, and now I need to think of someone who...
Oh, okay.
I have thought of someone, though. So I think a good one would be... And he wouldn't attack Lesnar. He'd attack Heyman and Scarpa and do a runner, because he's not a full babyface, but people really like him. And I just think they'd have a great match together, just looking at the guys that Brock has great matches with. Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, we've not seen him for a while.
I don't think he'd end up beating Lesnar. I think Lesnar would beat him. But I think that just looking at how over Buddy was after that match with Roman, I think it was, wasn't
Has he
it?
been on SmackDown since?
Buddy? I really don't know.
I seem to remember a backstage segment. Maybe
He got his arse handed to him by Roman in the
Yeah.
locker room. Then they had the match. Is that the way it went?
That's a lot, yeah.
And that was it.
Oh, that's depressing. isn't
Yeah.
it? Best kept secret again.
Yeah.
I know that it sounds stupid because these predictions are going to be class, and my prediction is basically Buddy Murphy versus Brock Lesnar. But I think it actually
It's not.
would
It's
be-
what you want to see.
It
isn't
is what
if
I
you
wanna
want to
see.
see Brock versus Buddy. Don't be
All right.
shy.
Thank you. I
Thank
want to
you,
see.
Big Potato.
It's one of those things that it's not going to happen, obviously, but also because Buddy's not enough of a star.
Well, when it happens, you're egg on your face.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because Buddy isn't big enough of a star, which is their fault because he could be, and they can't push him as one of the top faces. No. Okay, right. No, I'm just thinking with the new Fox TV deal, you can't propel Buddy that soon, can you?
Of course you can.
But I'd love to see it.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think it would be great. And I think it's one of those matches, as you say, that even in defeat, Buddy could still look great in the same way that he did with
Balor and all them.
Yep.
Not Ambrose. That was a bad match. But yeah.
Roman. Did he beat Roman?
Yes, several times. Yeah, loads of times.
No, I'm talking about Buddy.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about
people
that Lesnar had beat who still looked good.
Oh,
so
Balor,
Bryan, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Styles.
Not Ambrose. Styles, that was the other one. So yeah, that's my pitch.
I really like it, Ross.
It makes absolutely no sense, but I also want to see more Buddy Murphy and Brock versus Buddy because I think it'd be an interesting match, so I'm on board.
Thank you.
Doesn't have to make sense, I just want to see it. This is what this show's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not what should happen, it's what we want to happen.
That's
not quite right, but you know.
Yes, there's 2 yeses. Okay, I'll stick with the Brock and Kofi stuff then. I want Kofi to win last night on SmackDown. No.
We have to go back.
Yeah, right. So
Clean.
Yes, but with a roll-up. Okay. And I know I'm fed up with roll-ups too, but this is an exceptional circumstance, I think. Brock absolutely batters him on SmackDown, kicks the poo out of him, but Kofi just about manages to win after a solid, 10 minutes of babyface fire, come back, beats him with an unbelievable roll-up, and that's your closing image. A wonderful way to close the first episode of SmackDown on Fox. But then...
Why not a victory roll? F5, up on the shoulders, victory roll.
Yeah, okay.
Brock slips on a pancake.
Yeah, that too.
The new sports-centric SmackDown.
Done with the... So then Paul Heyman kicks off Hell in a Cell a la WrestleMania.
What, sorry?
A la WrestleMania.
What was the full sentence? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Bro, sorry.
I'm so
Paul
sorry.
Heyman kicks off Hell in a Cell a la WrestleMania.
Thank you.
Alan WrestleMania.
Yes.
So he comes out and he demands that Kofi
AJ
gets out
Styles'
here.
nickname.
Alan WrestleMania.
It will be once he's had a few
Like Johnny
bangers.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
He kicks off Hell in a Cell in that same way. Comes to the ring and he said, Kofi, he's with Brock. Kofi, get the hell out here. We're not done with you yet, sort of thing. And Kofi unbelievably answers the challenge. And he comes out and he's limping on the way to the ring. He's battered. I can't believe he's done it. And Brock beats him, right? After, once again, a decent match where Kofi, babyface fire, come back. So you've got the title on Brock, which is actually where I think it should be at this point. But Kofi still feels like a big deal because I'm very worried that he's just going to get beat and then he's just going to go whoop back down the card and he won't feel special again. I keep talking about special, don't I? But he looks good because he's been so bloody brave and he was the fighting champion that he said he would be. And that's his whole thing. So he's going to answer any challenge which is given to him. And he would stick around. I don't know if there's another rematch after that. But he would still feel like a big deal to people. Because it does worry me that once this title reign's over, he's done for a bit. Thoughts?
I like it. I like that you've given Kofi a win on Friday first over Brock to help prevent him becoming just another guy.
That's it.
And I do think that begrudgingly it does make sense for Lesnar to be the WWE champion going forwards. And I think honestly, on Fox with all the coverage they get and stuff, I actually think if he does win, if he has won last night, and I am looking forward to seeing it because I think they could do some excellent sort of cross promotion and that sort of thing. So it's a tentative yes from me. Yes.
I feel sorry for Kofi, mate. I know we've said it before on this channel, but his reign has been hampered by crap opponents.
Orton made him look like a proper bellend. So lazy.
The old soccer adage, when you're a big football team, a good football team, you can only beat what's put in front of you. And what's been put in front of Kofi Kingston hasn't been good enough, in my humble opinion. Dolph Ziggler.
Yep.
That went on for way too long. He should never have been there.
It wasn't meant to happen, though.
I know. But
was
yeah,
that for
Saudi
Arabia?
Saudi Arabia it started because Daniel Bryan wouldn't go.
And then Owens
had to turn heel because Bryan got injured.
Yeah.
Seth had the same problem, in fairness. Not that makes up for it, but Seth bloody getting Baron Corbin as his first opponent following. That's pretty wank,
I guess,
isn't it?
And the big worry is there for Kofi Kingston. Once he does, last night I think he will have lost. Because SmackDown's on Fox and sports and whatnot, and Lesnar has to beat Kofi because Lesnar's 3 times the size of Kofi. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because genetics, I guess.
Other things, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I like it. So I want to see it because I do like this reign has been. It's been a historic reign. Kofi's win at WrestleMania. It was a People look back on that, like Ron Simmons. That sort of. It's been a big historic win. People will look 20 years time. They'll look back on that, and it shouldn't be just disregarded like it probably will be.
No, I don't think it will. I actually don't think it will be.
I don't think it will either. People are really starting to sour on him, which I think is a shame to see, and it just is exactly what you said. The opponents have been the problem here.
Yeah.
So I feel sorry for him. But thank you very much, Ross. Your final pitch.
So my pitch started last night. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon has happened. Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens has won.
Has he?
Shane McMahon has been thrown off the top of the ladder, which was placed on top of the brand new SmackDown Tron.
This really is what you want to happen, isn't it?
So I think we're all in agreement now that Shane McMahon needs to be gone from TV in the capacity he's had for
especially the new era stuff.
The last 3 years that he's put us through. And so I want Hell in a Cell, whatever you kick off the first match on the main show is, whatever that's happened. We've had a rip-roaring start of the night. Then we always have that backstage segment that comes after the first match, and that is going to be Shane McMahon, but in a full body cast. Neck brace, everything. Classic JBL heel stuff. We're all laughing at Shane McMahon. He's hamming it up. We're all having a great time. And I know this might ruin the Fiend's eventual appearance in the main event, what probably will be the main event of the night, I guess. It's either that or Becky and Sasha, isn't it, for the main event slot? But the lights go out wherever Shane McMahon is in the arena, and the Fiend appears, and the Fiend literally rips off Shane McMahon's head.
Literally. And
this is the rubber, this is the exclamation point on the thing that happened, hopefully, last night on SmackDown Live, that Shane McMahon has just been written off our television screens forever. It puts over the Fiend even more because he has killed the man... The 49-year-old man who took Roman Reigns, the face of WWE for the past few years, to a competitive match in the soaring heat of Saudi Arabia. The man who has done so many things to so many main event level stars over the past few years. But the Fiend has finally become the man to properly see him off. So you got Kevin Owens looking strong coming out of SmackDown by beating the best in the world, and then the Fiend looking stronger than anyone's ever looked strong before in the history of the company by writing off Shane McMahon.
Committed murder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna improve yours in the same way.
Go on then. I'm ready for Adam.
After he literally rips the head off and blood is spurting out, he places his mouth on the gullet of Shane McMahon and absorbs his life force, what makes him the greatest professional wrestler in the world. And then the Fiend is the super Fiend.
God, and then they can release sweat. You know those Halloween masks?
McMahon.
That have the blood inside.
Yeah, the scream mask.
With sweat instead of blood.
It's perfect.
A Fiend mask with
merch
sweat
for days. Get on it quick.
I know.
I can't say. Is it a yes from me? You're saying someone's going to be murdered. He's a dad.
Not literally. I know.
You said literally.
Yeah,
you can't be one of those people.
Smoke and mirrors, though. They'd kayfabe murder.
Oh, like a pallbearer being drowned in cement sort of thing.
So he's something as silly as that. Just something to properly write. Because if he gets thrown off something massive on SmackDown
He'll
last
be back
night,
next week.
I know it's Shane McMahon. He comes back, doesn't he? But if the Fiend does something terrible that writes him off for 2 to 3 years.
When his head has grown back, as heads do. Yeah, no, I really, especially with the addition of not actual murder and stage effects happening, some prosthetics. I really like it.
It does work. In my silly mind, it works because Kevin Owens comes out of it looking strong, as I said, and the Fiend comes out looking stronger than any man's ever looked
like
strong before.
Yeah.
He tried murder at SummerSlam.
It does turn him proper babyface, doesn't it? That's for sure. He's already getting cheered.
Are we saying that the Fiend's a heel?
He's doing heelish things. He is a heel. Is he a tweener?
No.
He's a heel.
Babyface, isn't he?
Just because he's getting cheered. He's a heel. He's doing heelish things. He
beating
tapped
up all
Mick
the
Foley, Kurt Angle.
Kane.
They don't deserve it. Angle's a dad. So Foley, what am I on about? Yeah, it's a yes from me. I really like it. And I'd like to see something so outlandish and fun.
It's a yes from me as well.
Wow.
I like this exciting new world you've opened up where characters can be killed off now. It like some kind of like Breaking Bad, but
I was watching that. What was Luchasaurus called in Lucha Underground?
Oh yes,
Vidab.
Yeah.
Victus. I watched his character get decapitated by Taya and Big Johnny Mo.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Moon. He would have been back then.
Johnny Moon.
Johnny Moon. Big Johnny Moon. But that can happen in WWE. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I like it. Go on, why not?
Let's laugh at Shane McMahon.
Let's kill him off.
And then in 3 years' time, he comes back and defeats the Fiend clean.
And it's all been worth it.
It was all a dream. It's a yes from me. Jack, your final pitch, please.
My final pitch is one of those unannounced matches. I'm just going to pretend. I don't know what's going to go on. But I imagine that after, whatever's happened, Shane's been murdered, the cells collapsed. All of our pictures have come wildly true. And the show ends with a match that hasn't been announced yet. Vince McMahon hits the ring, and he goes, "You know what? I've got beef with a certain superstar in the back, and it's from over a decade ago when my head was shaved, and it's Bobby Lashley. Get out here now!"
I was going to say Trump. Jeez, all right, yeah.
No, Lashley comes out, right? Because Vince is still not over this because he had his head shaved because Lashley won the Battle of the Billionaires, right? He's like, "You're gonna face someone right now, and it's gonna be proper bad for you," and then it's like Connors or someone, right?
Why do you never think of the ending?
And then I have thought of the ending. I've just not thought of the detail. It's like it's Connors or like I don't know. It's Kenny Williams or someone. They come out, right?
All right, yeah, sure.
It's Walter, whoever it is, right? Lashley beats them, and as Lashley is standing over the prone body of Ashton Smith, he looks Vince in the eyes and says, "Live sex celebration." Out comes Linda McMahon. They get under the sheets and he gives her just a wonderful scene too in front of Vince, and the storyline continues. And that's my final pitch. What? What? Sorry.
What's the final pitch? You want Bobby to
doink Linda
Yeah.
in the ring,
Yeah.
and one of Linda's tits pop out.
No,
And people freeze frame it for eternity.
I never
just like
specified that. Never.
Is Linda dressed like Lita?
I'll be honest, right? I'll be honest. Yes, and
This is
Lashley.
the second time you've done
and
this
Lashley-
where we've gone quiet
And,
at the end.
and Lashley's dressed like Edge. No,
With a wig.
yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I'll be honest, right? I'm really annoyed on behalf of Rusev and Lana. I feel like these storylines.
I was watching it. I felt legitimately sorry for Rusev when he did that face in the
Yeah.
ring. I was like, that must be horrible to watch him miss his neck. I know it's their actors and whatnot, but still. They were getting into it good and proper, Lana.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Bobby were. That must be hard
yeah.
to watch.
Oh yeah! Ooh yeah!
And I just feel really bad for them. Imagine being married to someone, you both got the same job, you're living out your dreams, but the boss just doesn't think you deserve each other.
But how does this remedy it? Because then Bobby's going on the
Because
doink
Vince
Linda.
is getting a taste of his own medicine, Adam.
He's booked it. Oh, right,
yeah.
okay.
Now
Oh,
Vince has booked it himself.
Yeah, of course,
yeah.
this is his company.
He's just getting off on this.
You know what?
I'm a cock, damn it.
Heyman secretly booked it. Vince doesn't know it's all a rig.
Oh, it's a shoot.
And
It's a shoot
rib.
porking.
Yeah,
It's a shoot
No,
It's
no,
the
no,
Los
no, no,
Angeles.
no, no.
It's a Los Angeles screw job.
Linda's
but
up for it.
literally-
She loves it.
There's not actual penetration. There's just a bit of
But a kinky
kayfabe.
foreplay.
Yeah, under the covers.
But it's got to go further than Lana because you've set the bar there. So something's got to
Edge
happen.
and
with-
Lita style. Yeah.
Yeah. But
He
they had
emerges with
they
their
had-
pants in his mouth and that.
So yeah, he's.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
What is wrong
What
with
have you just said there? Bobby with Linda McMahon's lingerie
Right,
in
look,
his mouth.
I thought that this might not go over well, and I came with a backup page as well.
No,
You know-
it's a yes from me. Go on.
This is what you want to see. I just remembered this concept.
I forgot that caveat, but yes, it is. Damn it! Or the spooky hell music becomes Agadoo by Black Lace. There we go. That as well.
Oh, so as
That's my
it's,
backup
as
pitch.
it's descending,
do,
push pineapple,
Everyone,
shake the
imagine
tree.
everyone getting.
I don't know if
involved
it's
for
big.
it.
Where's this pay-per-view held?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Staples
I'm not
Center.
sure Black Lace were ever that big over there. Or with our
To
audience
the
now.
left, to the
No, sorry.
The cells coming
I've just
down.
told SmackDown was
Rollins
in Los
looking
Angeles.
intense.
Oh, right.
SmackDown last
But it's
night
in,
was in
it's in
Atlanta.
North America, and Black Lace I don't think ever conquered.
I don't know about Mexico, but probably not America and Canada. Yeah.
Oh, they're huge in Mexico.
Just think next year we can bring it down to Nelly the Elephant. Oh, Nelly the
I
Elephant.
just
Back
like the
to drunk
idea
in hell in a
of
second.
them in the ring trying to stay intense. Good, do Rollins like shaking the cage and that. Anyway, so Lashley and
It's a yes
and
to both
Linda.
from me,
Yeah.
Jack. You've made a mockery of this show once again. Carry on.
I would love to see Linda McMahon in sexy lingerie, canoodling with Bobby Lashley in a makeshift ring in the middle of the ring, live on Hell in a Cell. I would love to see that.
Thank you.
Oh, God. Well, I can't top that. Mine involves the 24/7 title.
Oh, yeah.
So, assuming that Sasha and Becky is not the main event, which I don't think it will be. I think it'll be Fiend Rollins. After that finishes, I don't care who wins. It doesn't really play into the thing. Carmella is... they've exited the door. They're out of there. Carmella is chased by Drake Maverick, who wants to get the 24/7 title. Carmella scrambles on top of the cell.
She's good at climbing. She was good in the ladder match. She's
Yeah.
at climbing. She can climb.
Drake, right up her ass. She's gone, and they have a bloody 15-minute slobber knocker on the top of the.
Is this
I've actually
linked
put
to
22
Jackson
minutes
anyway?
there. Say again.
Is this linked to Jackson?
No.
anyway?
There's no penetration. And then Drake Maverick, after 15 minutes of total non-stop action, is thrown off the top of the cell, which has actually been elevated by this time. Because,
He's in the rafters.
Yeah, it's high up, and he goes through the announce table, which might be on the ramp if they use the same set. I don't know, but it's that far.
Like javelins.
It's a long way away.
It's like a 2K20 glitch.
Yes, and he becomes in
does
his
that
mind.
bounce.
Because of the damage which has been done to his mind, he becomes the new Mick Foley. And because of the mess that is... Wait. Because of the mess that is 205 Live, right? And we don't know where it's going to be, and it might stay on Friday, it might go to Wednesday or whatever. And we're already seeing Cruiserweight title match being announced for NXT. He becomes the commissioner of NXT under Regal, and he sets up his office wherever he bloody well likes. Because I just really like that character, and I think Drake Maverick could pull it off. I love Drake Maverick.
So you want a man, you're pitching a man to get legitimate brain damage?
No, in kayfabe brain.
And oh, right.
Oh, yeah. You did Shane getting his head bitten off. Don't have a go at me. Yeah. It's another one that I haven't thought through that much, but what a great big spot, and it would make Drake Maverick a star. It would make him feel special.
Does he think he's like Mick Foley, or he's actually Mick Foley?
He thinks he's Mick Foley.
Is this inspired by when he thought he was a trainee again? He thought it was like the year 2003. It's so funny, isn't it?
Really good.
Oh my God, AJ Styles. He's going to be NWA TNA champion. It's so
It's
good.
that. I miss Mick Foley. Don't get me wrong, his recent run as authority figure was bad for Foley's, but I like the guy.
Yeah.
And so
So
let's pass that on.
Is this more like Sid Scala and Big Johnny? That sort of relationship.
But Regal's a really good talker, isn't he?
They'd be so funny. They'd be so funny together.
What, Spud and Regal?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. They got history
The
as
modern
well.
day Tajiri and Regal.
Yes. Yeah, you need a new Tajiri. Yeah.
Tajiri can come along for one as well. They can all sing Black Lace. They're all British. No, they're not. Tajiri's very much not.
Yeah,
but
he
anyway,
is.
yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's got a British passport.
Nah.
He's from Hull. Is it a yes or is it a no?
Yeah, why the
of
hell
course
not?
it's a yes.
Yeah. Oh, this has been a fun one, hasn't
This
it?
has been the most
what a
ridiculous
hoot.
one since Ross pitched George Miz turning into chips.
Oh my God!
No.
Hell in a Cell's back. We've got the greater. George hasn't been seen. I've read online. I don't know if it's true. That could be George's new nickname, the Greater. But I read online that George is being in trouble for selling knockoff Miz merch at indie events. Is this true?
Doing a Hebner.
That's his son, though. He's allowed.
Not sure that's how
That's
it
his own
works.
son. Let him off.
Yeah, no, well, he can do what he
Hey,
wants.
Vince
in
has
my eyes. He's a
built
great
bridges
guy.
back before, hasn't he, with the likes of Bruno Sammartino. And...
If you can make money with a guy, he'll take you back. And George Miz is money.
So we want
That's
the
George
Fiend-
the Greater Miz.
The final pitch from all of us is for George to descend down to the ring from the rafters, just fall, and then just through the cell
like the opening of Mr. B.
with the. Then he splits into the million little George Mizes as he's grated through, being a big baked potato that he is. And then the Fiend is like the borrowers, and then trapped down. What's that old fable from back in the day? With a massive man stitched down to the floor.
Oh, Gulliver's Travels.
Gulliver's Travels with a big thing. That is the Fiend and a million little George Mizes.
Thanks very much for checking out this
week.
video.
Goodbye.
It's been absolutely loot. Cheers for tuning in yesterday. And we have got Hell in a Cell live reactions on Sunday night. We've got WTF
On
SmackDown on Monday. And then
Yeah.
you're back.
I'm going to change the schedule already.
Yeah.
The schedule's changed because it makes more sense to do them in order. So SmackDown on Monday, Hell in a Cell on Tuesday, Raw on Wednesday.
Just for pay-per-view weeks.
Yeah.
It should be. Jack, you'll be doing What Happened At. Tom's going to be doing
Yeah.
Graded.
I'm also on the reactions.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
missing the reactions, unfortunately.
The SEO
Everyone will
conference.
know by now because I've got
Yes.
to go. We have a website, and I do that as well.
Responsibilities. It's all
We're
fun
more
and
than
games.
just clowns, aren't we? We have real jobs.
Good. See you later.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.